I'm already live. Hey, everybody.
Your mic's already on, by the way.
Okay. Happy evening. Yes, different hour, same day, same lady here, Dr. Tim's clinical psychologist. How y'all doing tonight? Go ahead, take a moment, tag a friend, tag 10 friends, tell them to tune in. This is something of great interest, you guys. I have special people in the house with me today. You will hear them throughout the day, and let me just tell you, there's for first of all, let me give thanks and honor to the Creator. Thank you, Father, for another day because it didn't have to be. And of course, this show and all of my shows are dedicated to my lovely grandmother and my grandfather. Put an S on it because I had two of each that were dynamic. Um, and this show is also dedicated to anyone out there listening. So I was just bothered. I received an email from a coworker that pissed me off. Now I've been doing my job as a school psychologist and a clinical psychologist. I got a lot of years, you guys, approaching what 30 years. And I don't have a big head. Like, you can't tell me anything. That's not my way. Never my way on anything. I don't take that approach in life. However, you got to tread lightly in how you speak to people, especially when you are not of the same culture and race. That's just the way it is. I can't walk up to someone of a different culture, a Latino or a Latina or a Mexican person or a Caucasian person or a person of Asian descent, and say things that other people in their culture would say to them. Just like someone of those cultures can't come to me, that's something someone in my culture can say to me and get away with. That's just how it is. I didn't make the rules, but they're there and they are understood. So when you begin to violate those rules, you begin to put yourself in a place of danger, really. And it ain't stranger danger because many people are old enough to know better. But some people still like to tempt fate, test the waters, press it out a bit, give it a go. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is, and neither do I care. But what I have learned and what I suggest to people is handle those situations as they come up. Because if you hold on to them, they're going to fester. And when they fester, they may put you in a position where you'll fight, you'll end up cursing someone out, losing your job, being disrespectful in front of your child or another child, because children are impressionable. They cannot pick their parents. Okay. Um, and you might curse in front of your pastor. You don't want to do that. You don't want any of those things to happen. But there's only so much pressure that people can take. Now, given my situation, you guys know I just lost my best friend, my grandmother, my beautiful queen grandmother, 94 years old. Can't be mad at that, right? Can't be mad at that. However, I'm still not in a good place. So I got to adjust to that. But I'm doing pretty good. But I had somebody send me an email with all these damn caps in it. And the one thing you learn in corporate America is that that's a no-no. You don't do that. You guys, excuse me, I'm gonna have a sip here.
I'll drink with you.
My friend is in the building. She's having a drink with me. I'm waiting on my other friend, supposed to be on the StreamYard. Girl, I sent you the link. Click in and come on in the room.
Or she can call in.
Or you can call in. You guys can call in. Okay. It's oh, I need to send you the link. It's 747 area code 239-7793. Please tune in, call in. We want to hear from you. Someone was calling in. It was great. Call back. The phones are up and working now. My friend here, she's going to be answering the line. If they call, go ahead and answer the line. Okay. But I want to hear from you because I felt like if that person was in my view at that time, she probably would not have been in a safe space. But because at the time I got the email, I was at home. I was, in like I think I was already done with work. So I was in a relaxed mode, a good place to be. And I was like, this tramp is tripping. That was my attitude. Then when I got the second email and it was more caps, I need this by this. Girl, you've been working all of 2 years. I'm like, who does she think? And I had to remember, oh, Karen, right? I forgot. So Karen. So, and let me just say this to the other white people that might be watching. This does not apply to all of you. I have met some incredible people of all races, creeds, ethnicities, backgrounds, cultures. Not everybody fit into these categories, but I will tell you per capita. And if you go on my Facebook page, you will see some of the posts that I've posted. I'm going to see if my engineer can pull those things up because it's just ridiculous. There was a young Black man who apparently was working in a hotel, and this woman called him a fucking nigger and then expected him to give her a hotel room. And he's like, no, ma'am. Basically, I'm not dealing with your disrespect. You're not going to talk to me that way. You can go to the hotel next door. And he was quite polite. And I sent him a message, good for you. And if your hotel chain or company messes with you, you let me know because I'm a rally for you. And we're going to protest them. Right?
That's right.
Because it's not okay.
Never okay.
It's never okay. So my guest in the house.
Hey, y'all. Hey, blessings this evening.
All right.
My name is Z.
All right.
Thanks for having me, Doc.
No, thank you. Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. So what are your thoughts on Karen? So we call the white women Karens. I'm gonna go ahead and call the white men Michaels. I'm just gonna call them Michaels. All right, because it's not just the females, it's also the males. But I will say, they might be mad because their Michaels be looking at me, especially when I had these braids. I just can't. The Michaels, they be on me like white on rice.
And that's the thing is that they love us and they love our culture, but yet so disrespectful. So then that makes you think like, where's the disrespect coming from? Does the disrespect come from a place of anger that you want to be within this culture so bad? Or is it just that you just plain out who you are, Karen and Michael?
I don't know, but I think they need to get a hold of themselves. What about you, Yahuda? Of course, my incredible engineer is here.
Luckily I haven't had to deal with any of the situations.
Very lucky.
I don't really talk to Edomites. I'm saying that so we don't get banned on YouTube, but I don't talk to them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why I don't really have these problems.
Yeah.
I just don't deal with them.
Yeah.
The one time I think I had to was I was working at the health club, and it was a private health club.
Okay.
And this lady comes in, and she's from a soap opera. I've never seen a soap opera in my life. Like, that's not, why would I know who?
Right.
So she comes in with her friend, and she's like, my friend, she's famous. I'm thinking like,
so
like my whole family's famous. Like that.
Right.
So I was just thinking like, okay. So I was like, listen, I understand how this, I understand the celebrity world. So I'm like, listen, it's no problem. Just go to your car real quick, grab your ID, and then just a bit of fun that you guys can go in.
Right.
You don't even have to fill out everything. It's cool.
Right.
She didn't want to even do that. She was like, no, she's not doing none of that. You just gonna let her in. So I said,
watch me.
I said, oh, word. I said, oh, okay, well, now neither one of y'all coming in.
Right.
So y'all can just go about your day now and just do your thing.
Right.
And I just went back to the desk.
Yeah.
She took her jacket off, threw it on the ground.
Like a 2-year-old tantruming.
Out, ran back in. And then later on, she called the owner, whatever, came back to the gym. And she wanted to apologize.
Oh, yeah, no, keep your apology.
And she told me, this was interesting, though. She told me what really upset her was she could tell by the look on my face that I didn't care. And that's what really sent her over the edge. So I learned to pay attention to that. So if I don't want to get into it with people, I pretend like I care. But for the most part, I really don't. So I usually just hit you with a blank face. No emotion. That's the best thing you do is no emotion.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
So I
that's
learned
good
that from that
advice.
lesson. So, you know, with some people,
Yeah,
I give them some emotion back if I need to converse with you and settle the situation.
yeah,
But if I feel you're being disrespectful, I'm just gonna shut it all off.
yeah. I think having a stone face is something that I need to practice more. And actually I have been visualizing myself having to see Karen, in which I really don't see her because I'm able, the good thing about what I do is I'm able to do my own schedules and scheduling and that kind of thing. So I really don't have to see her. But it got so bad. I replied back in the email after the second email. And boy, when I tell you, I said, listen, I'm gonna need you to watch how you're talking to me. Be very careful what you say, because I know emotionally I'm fragile right now and you can get it. Okay. You can get it.
Right up.
Anybody can get it right now. So be very careful what you say, because I'm fighting with myself to remain calm.
Right.
I got too much to lose. And
Absolutely.
I had my one of my business partners, shout out to DJ Sidekick if you're tuning in,
Sidekick.
reminded me of that. Do you know DJ Sidekick?
Of course, I'm the DJ umpire.
Oh, okay. Well, then you know DJ DeVoe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's who's
DJ.
over here tonight. That's
Okay.
yeah.
DeVoe. Okay. The
Follow
music
your
path.
DJs, the
Follow
music
the
path. Yeah, shout out to DJ
Let's
DeVoe.
go.
All right, so I gave them their shouts out. But
That's
DJ
what's up.
Sidekick reminded me. He's like,
He said, hold on.
he's like, hold on, Queen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get down like that.
Right.
You just can't. You got too much to lose. And I needed that at that time. Not that I don't know that, but sometimes you need to be reminded of that. But I sent her an email back and I told her, I am not your subordinate, your slave, or your dog. Refrain from talking to me in that manner.
Yeah, Doc, I really commend you on that, because you taught me that using my voice and standing up for the Black queen that I am is very important.
It is.
Because when we don't, they feel a need and a want or ability to continue to step on, disrespect, and so forth.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've watched you put them in their place, and I thank you for that on my behalf. I thank you for that. I've watched you put them in their place respectfully. Yeah. So that's what's up.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So that right there, you have to be armed with facts.
Right.
You know, people can throw darts, but when you come with facts, I'm clearing up all those darts. You have no facts. Right. I keep receipts. Right. And I do history and I do research. And so if I tell you something, you can pretty much take it to the bank and cash that check.
You can run it back.
You can run it back. You can, you know, like we do in testing to make sure that things are reliable and valid. You have to be able to run that same test. Like you said, run it back, and you got to be able to yield the same results each and every time, right? You know that because you're in that medical world as well. And if you can't, you cannot truly say that something is reliable and or valid.
The data doesn't show.
Correct. The data doesn't comport all of these fancy ways of saying it. But the bottom line is, be careful.
Karen.
Just Karen and Michael. Be careful. Yeah. So, and we don't have to be violent, but I will have something for you, you know, and it don't have to be violent. I am intelligent enough, as you said, to use my words.
Right.
Words can cut sharper than any machete.
Right.
Dr. Maya Angelou, I remember a lot of great things that she said, and I will never quote because I'm not a good quoter.
She's one of my favorites, though.
I don't remember things verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my memory is like a fog. I'll remember, but sometimes in that moment, you know, I got to sit down and look at things, and you know, that's just how my memory is. Everybody's is different. Right. But she said, and for me, it's important to treat people well. I care about how people feel. I care about how I make people feel, especially when I care about the people. You understand?
Right.
So people may not remember what you say or what you do, but they will remember how you make them feel.
And that's my stamp. That's my stamp.
Yeah.
And I remember that quote from her. I live by that daily,
Yeah.
you know, with my work, my family, my friends, and everybody I encounter.
Yeah.
You're not going to remember my name, but you'll remember how I made you
How
feel.
I made you feel.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's one of my favorite ones too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm telling you, I'm just at the point, and how does it affect mental health? Well, it made me angry. It pissed me off that I'm like, oh gosh, here we go again. Because being a Black woman, Black person in America, you deal with racism daily. I'm not going to pretend that shit didn't happen and that shit don't exist, because it exists. It's there and it happens and it exists. I don't have to pretend like it didn't happen.
Right.
That's not what I'm here for. And for those of you listening, if you want us to pretend, don't do it. We're living in a time where our history is being snatched from textbooks, where people are being hit with felonies for telling us our history and the truth of our history. Do you understand? So it's a very fragile and delicate time.
It is.
And I don't know if you've been seeing on Facebook, I've been posting on my page. Mr. Yahuda, are you able to pull up some of the stuff? I think I shared it with you, but certainly it's on my Instagram in a little circle.
I found that quote for you, Doc. It says, Maya Angelou states, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but will never forget how you made them feel. So those were her exact words.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There. And then I want to shout out to the teachers. I'm sure that there are teachers of different cultures and races that are doing this.
We support you.
Particularly the Blacks or African Americans, those who look like me, because here we go fighting. We never stop fighting. Every day is a fight, right? But my hat is off.
Did you send the link to me?
Oh, to get onto the StreamYard?
Yeah, you have the following on my phone.
Oh, awesome. I'm sorry, you guys.
That's okay. We're going to take a quick break so Doc can...
No, girl, no.
Break. She's going to send it to me. Go all the way live.
And hear your hey, Demetrius Nightshade. Let me tell you, that brother right there, I never met him. He lives in Texas, I believe, but whenever I post something, he always shares, and he's always so kind. So I told him whenever he comes to Los Angeles, if I'm having a function or if it's some kind of comedy or music thing he wants to go to, because I be having hookups and stuff sometimes, I got him. So I got you, Demetrius, when you come down here. I got you. Always so supportive and so sweet, and just the kind words, and it helps when we have to deal with the ignorances of the world.
So I'm googling YouTube and Karens, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there's different categories. So category said Black Karens.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of YouTube channels about Black Karens. There's white Karens. There's dude Karens on here.
Dude Karens. I'm gonna call him Michael.
So I thought that was interesting, because I thought the term Karen only applied to, older white women. But I think it just suggests women who loses their control or their mental control.
Okay.
Hey, caller, give us just a second. Hold on.
Did you have one? Did you hear the call? Put the headphone on.
These right here?
Mm-hmm. Hey, caller. Hello?
I don't think they're connected.
Oh, did I lose you?
Oh. They're not pulling.
The cord is right clicked on the table.
It's clipped on it too.
Look at
Forgive me, y'all, but y'all
Okay.
can look at my outfit. Hey, she's going to shake a tail feather.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah.
Did you call him back or something?
Yep.
Oh, you
Don't. Oh, don't.
no, don't call him back. She's good at this. She called him back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have her come in here every
That's it,
Thursday.
Doc, right there. Right there. There you go. Now you got enough light. Just go ahead and have a seat. Showing off in front of people. So,
You know.
So being a Karen is more of having a mental breakdown, I guess, in public, and I guess in a public setting.
Acting like a 2-year-old.
Yes, I think that's what they're saying the definition of a Karen is.
Oh.
Exactly. So I had a situation where I had to have a meeting at my son's school because he was on some, behavior. And I said, Doc, sit in on this meeting with me, please. And we actually had the principal, whose name is Karen. I won't state the school. And her name is Karen. And Doc came on here and I said, Doc, can you speak on our behalf, please? Well, when she started speaking on our behalf, Karen said, that's it. The meeting is over. I would no longer facilitate this meeting. What? Now that I have someone here that's speaking your language, you're intimidated by the fact that you shut the meeting down
Right.
like a 2-year-old.
Like a 2-year-old.
I don't want to hear more. I don't want to talk. I can't talk anymore. She said, I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And then she.
And
Doc
you know
said,
what I
"Well,
told her? I said, well, then you shouldn't be the administrator over any IEPs. Why don't you go get someone who's qualified? Because you shouldn't do this job. I said, I shudder to think about how many other Black boys' educations and lives you've ruined. So actually, I know I instructed you to write a letter to the superintendent. Have you done that?
I did.
Okay, so then they need to do an investigation of that school. And I'll probably contact the Office of Civil Rights because what happens is, well, many people know that I worked for the second largest school district in the nation for almost 25 years. And I was a part of that time when the revamping of just dumping and just doing anything to our Black children, particularly Black boys, they were being dumped in these classrooms and being given these labels, harsh labels. And the reality was they would end up in jail and or dead or, in the streets and that kind of thing. But before we go further, we do have someone on the line. Hello. Hi, Dee. How are you? I think your microphone is muted. Can you unmute? Can you hear me?
Oh, hello. Hi. I didn't know I was a part of the show. I'm sorry. Hello, how are you doing? Hi.
Have you had any experiences with any Karens or Michaels, we're calling them, Michaels? And with your profession, either in the workplace or even just in everyday life, have you had your experience? What did you do? And what would you advise?
Oh my. I didn't expect to do this, but okay. Oh my. Well, I had a similar, well, not similar experience to yours, but when my son was younger, he had a situation at school where there was a child that was known for having ADHD and having some behavioral problems. He had I don't want to say he attacked him, but he had jumped on my son from behind. And my son, in protecting himself, they got into a fight. And when that happened, that child was hurt. So I was contacted and my son was suspended and that child was not. And so at the time he was at a different I ended up transferring him to a different school, not because of this situation, but just to something else. But at this time he was at a predominantly white school. And that so-called principal was a Karen. At that time, they weren't called Karen because he was younger. But and she was trying to claim that, my son had all these issues and that he caused the fight. And she tried to put in his record that he caused this fight and was trying to label him as his problem child. And so when I had found out what actually happened and that the child that attacked him was known for having ADHD, and the school kind of just allowed him to get away with certain things because of that. And so I had to kind of handle her a little differently because of how she was coming at me, and she had this in my child's file. And so I had told her, I was like, my son is not going to be suspended because he was defending himself.
Correct.
He didn't start this fight. He was defending himself. He was just standing there with his friends, and this boy hopped on him from behind and was choking him.
Wow.
I said, and I told her, and I said to the fact where he had bruises, and I had to take him to the emergency room when I picked him up. I said, so, and you're trying to tell me that it's okay for him to stay at school because he has ADHD and he has this and this and that, and he has all these things going on. And I was like, and I told her, I said, I'm not knocking him for that. I said, but the fact that you know that he has done this before and he has this kind of behavior, I was like, why wasn't he suspended? Why is my son suspended for defending himself?
Absolutely.
Why did you have adequate staff in place watching him?
Yeah. And so so her whole defense was, well, you know, we don't condone fighting. I said, that's not fighting. It's called defending yourself.
I'm going to assume your son beat his ass. I'm going to say he won the fight.
They okay. And I told her, I said, he didn't pick up any objects. So you can't say that it was like assault with a deadly weapon or anything like that. I said, that is called defending yourself. And unfortunately, in my home, that's what I teach.
Absolutely. That's what we thought, honey. You better not go out there and get your ass. Because if you came home, you was going to get at 2 more.
Right.
So, yeah. So how I had to handle that, because I do have an attorney friend. So so how I handled this, I said, so should my attorney contact you or your boss directly or the superintendent? Who do you want him to contact?
That's right.
I said, because my son's not going to be suspended.
Absolutely.
for defending himself. And
Absolutely.
You're going to take that out of his file as him being this problem child that starts all these things, this and that. I said, no, because of course that child that did that was not of the same complexion of us.
I was going to ask, what was the race of the other child?
Yeah, that other child was not as the same complexion as us.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was, and I tried my best not to make it into a racial issue. So that's why I just said I have an attorney, and I'm just going to shut this down right now. And I just told her, I said, here's her card. Do you want her to contact you, or should she just contact the superintendent directly?
Now let me ask
And so
you.
That's how I handled that.
Look, I got all these initials. I'm T. That's Z. This is D. But I heard Z say, a situation with her kid, she didn't want to make it a racial issue. But at what point is too much enough? None of us want to make it a racial issue, but
True.
The bottom line is, it is what it is. And we don't make it a racial issue. They make it a racial issue. And oftentimes because they are led to believe that they are elite, better than, and that we're supposed to be inferior to. But the problem they have is that with someone like me, and I know Z here, we weren't raised to think that way about ourselves. Right. So you got the candidates, if you come to my family, you're not going to get that. Your family, you're not going to get that.
Not at all.
But it's just, I don't know if it comes from a world of them being raised and thought and brought up that way.
They were totally raised that way, just like.
And I believe it's just like with our strength, getting through slavery, being survivors through all of this atrocity. Right. It is ingrained in our DNAs. I believe that racism, that attitude that makes them believe that they are superior and we're inferior, I really believe that it is ingrained in their DNA. And I believe that they need to find someone that can help them to reverse the thinking, the logic, the traits and things that they've been taught, because that is just false information.
Yeah, exactly. They learn too, because we've had enough. We've had enough. A lot of us have stood up and been more verbal as yourself,
Yeah, I don't play it.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't play it. I don't play it. I don't play it. And here's the thing. I don't play games with people, period.
Right.
First of all, I'm too old to play games. I have no interest in that. It is a waste of my time. And it's a waste of another person's time.
Yeah, and I respect the fact that when you set them straight, doctor, you state the facts.
It's all facts. It's not
all
my
facts.
opinion. It's facts.
Yeah, and I respect you for that.
Thank you.
Cheers to you, Queen. Yeah.
Y'all, it's that Jamie Foxx bourbon, that BSB in her system. Oh, Yahuda. Somebody went from to oh. Yes. Columbus Day is, oh Lord, not Columbus Day.
Cesar Chavez.
Bite my tongue, because Columbus didn't do nothing. How you gonna discover something that was already here?
Hello?
It's the C. It's the C. It's two C's.
Chavez. My mother absolutely raised on Mr. Cesar Chavez because of his great agricultural gift that he gave to the world. So yes, I celebrate that.
So D, while I have you on the line and we're talking about children, I don't want to put your profession out there, but you might encounter some of these things as well, in the home or the workplace, or maybe even with your coworkers dealing with families and not treated fairly in those situations. Have you seen any of that?
Oh yeah. You mean like I mean yeah, of course I've seen situations where they weren't perhaps treated fairly, or they had a situation with the so-called Karen, and
put it out there. She's a social worker. You work for
I knew that.
yeah.
My sister is one too.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe some families aren't treated fairly with these Karens that might be in your profession as well.
Oh, definitely. Our minority families are definitely not treated fairly. I don't want to say mostly by Karens, but it's mostly by Karens. But then also at the same time, well, because they come in here with views. I'm going to save the world and save the children, this and this and that. And I don't have any kids of my own, but when I do have kids of my own, they're going to be this way and that way, and my kids would never, and I would never. And then you have stigmas and different views about things that you think because of populations or certain ethnicities that you may have seen on movies or shows, because you never actually interacted with them in your real life, and now you're interacting with them, and you have all these views, and you're nervous and you're scared, and you're bringing in your own rather than following what our guidelines are and what the state laws are. You're bringing in your own stigmas and your own biases. And then you're like, well, I would never do that, and I feel like this child is in danger, when they're really not. But you don't understand that ethnicity, because you're nervous because maybe you went to like an African American woman's house, and we talk loud. Latinos talk loud.
Right.
It's just something that we do. Doesn't mean that we're going to attack you. Doesn't mean that we're angry or mad at you. We just talk loud. It's just something that we do. And that's something that you need to know about these cultures as you're coming into this business, if that's not something that you're already aware of, because you're going to come in not knowing that and be nervous and thinking that we're trying to attack you, and we're not. So now you're going to add all these that didn't happen on this visit to this home, so that something's gone now, so this child can be removed, so you don't have to come back. And now you have changed everything in this home. Absolutely. You have changed this child's life. You have changed those parents' life. You have changed everything because you brought in your own biases, nervousness, scaredness, whatever you have going on.
Right.
And so that you don't have to go back.
Right.
That's what's up. Thank you, D.
Now, and I feel like that's wrong, because you're using your power as a social worker. Right. And then your whole little, entitlement that they do have. They can say that they don't have it. They're not aware of it. You guys all have it and you use it. Right. To say I was attacked, I was scared, I felt nervous, I felt whatever, I felt threatened, when nothing happened.
Right. I agree. Well, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it.
Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for letting me share.
Take that bonnet off your head so you can be on the camera.
I don't have a bonnet on. I just took all my makeup off, but okay, let me see.
Look, I was like, oh my God, I've had such a day working on a 100-page report. Oh, there you are. Look at her. Go, sis. That's right.
me on the show, and I was on the phone with you, and I said, hold on a sec, they put me on this show.
I had
to call in.
Had to drag her by her hair. She just got her hair done. So I had to drag her up. But always a pleasure. And I'm here every Thursday. So if you're ever a yoga partner, want to come and sit here with me, you are more than welcome to.
Tell her who you are, Doctor. She didn't hear your introduction in the beginning.
Oh, I am Dr. Tatinisha Timms. I'm a clinical psychologist, a school psychologist, health and wellness expert. What else do I do?
Sculpting.
Oh, I do body sculpting, and I'm also, I guess, in the entertainment business as well. I have a partner I signed on with, the DJ Sidekick. So we're doing, I have a comedy.
Sidekick. What's
up? Yeah, I'm meeting with him tomorrow. I produce a comedy show here in the Valley. And so he's connected with me. And so I'm really blessed because he's connected to so many big time people. So we already take this thing up and away. So
congratulations. Good job for you.
Thank you. So we're gonna have something here on Tuesday, April 18th. If you're here in the Valley, at Corbin Bowl. So it should be really nice. And we're gonna have a sign up list so you can get in for free, and you'll have like a 2-drink minimum. But yeah, we're gonna keep the tickets won't be no more than $10. But if you sign up for free, you get in free. Just
I love comedy shows. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, and everybody thinks it's far, but I'm like, if you get on the freeway at like 7:00, you'll be here by 7:25. Provided no accidents, praise God, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
All right, Z. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So do me a favor, make sure that that Z has your email address and your phone number, and I'll put you on the guest list so you can just come on in. And then anybody else you want, send me their email address and their phone number, and then I'll put them on the guest list for the comedy, and you guys just come.
Thank you. Will do.
Free.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yay.
Hey, thank you. Great show.
Thank you so much. And spread the word, girl. Help me get it out. And if you have time, go on to YouTube. That's where I got to really build my YouTube. I've been on YouTube for years, but I haven't been using it. And I forget about it.
We're going to stay on you. Don't worry.
I think work me like I work hard. But you know what? That's what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
all right.
But yeah, so this
Karen shit. Right.
So I'm just like, the
that's
good
what
thing
Karens do too. They're like, and then they have a tantrum.
Well, no, they go cry. They go cry. They cry. She made me. She hurt my feelings. She did that. And so now with the stone face,
right.
What's been happening? Oh, stay on, D girl. Stay on.
Stay
on, D. On face, girl. I just now learning to just be like,
period. That's what y'all was
because I really don't care.
Yeah. He really don't.
Like my grandmother just died. I don't care about what you feel.
That's the face they want to see.
Well, like I said, they hate when I look at them because
right.
I'm not gonna give them nothing. Like, I don't have any.
Yeah.
You know, but to what you were saying earlier, I think it's something inherited in people.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like DNA, and this is something you can study in science. Everything that we do, say, think, whatever, is recorded in our DNA.
Yes, it is.
So just like all the good traits that people, oh yeah, he's just like his dad or whatever. All the bad stuff gets passed down to.
True.
So to think about, now.
Be careful who you have kids with.
Shut up.
Just come out. No, that's
just saying.
No.
Is that facts?
No, that's.
Be careful who you exchange your energy.
Okay.
No, because kids can have traits like them. Parents don't have to be around them, and they still have traits like them.
Would you say?
I need to know the history.
I need to see your nieces and nephews.
And see their interaction too. Yeah. Let's take notes.
I'm about to choke.
Is that the bourbon?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we were taught, my grandmother taught me, if you want to really know about a man, watch how he treats and talks to his mama, his sisters, and the women in his life.
Mhm.
Interesting, because I've seen them treat them like queens and then
That's why
turn in the woman that they're in love with
You
and
wouldn't-
treat her like a dog.
So I would
Then you
tell-
need to go.
What I would tell women, and that's advice women give women.
But what is the advice
Right.
of
So,
man? Yeah.
advice as a
That was my
man-
grandmama Williams.
Advice to a woman is listen to what your man listens to, because in 90% of the time, could be people. We're operating subconsciously.
Yeah.
You know, we're not really tuned into our everyday action, especially if it's repetitive. So for a man, it might just be repetitive for him to hop on Instagram, right?
Right.
Now, what's going to dictate what he's paying attention to is his subconsciousness. So if he's riding around in his car and all he's listening to is, songs about what they call today, polygamy or cheating or having extramarital relationships.
Or
Yeah.
macking and pimping.
Yeah, if that's his brain
Yeah.
subconsciously is going.
What happened? Hello? Hello?
Get this from the man that they're with.
Yeah,
Question.
I think the biggest myth in the
Sorry,
world
D.
is that white men did all of this stuff to us.
Mm-hmm.
I think the face of racism is white men,
Mm-hmm.
right? The Donald Trumps and all these things, right?
Yeah.
That's an easy target.
He's going to jail.
Because he's on the postcard with the lynching and all of that. So it's he's
Right.
an easy target. But
Right.
what we don't realize is
Mhm.
there was always a white woman behind him. 90%
I
of the
read- yeah.
situations that happen because of these white women.
Yep.
And
Right.
it's the same thing. It could be
False accusations.
The same thing as say you're making me feel some kind of way.
True.
It hasn't changed. It's just the repercussions are not as bold. Because
Mhm.
back then they just cut your penis off and hang you.
Right.
You know, that was just the reality of the situation.
Crucial.
Now they're just